Hey, all you zombie fans, this is Matt Jarbo here with another episode of the Zurvivalist, the only zombie podcast dealing with zombie survival tactics. And I'm joined today by Feo Amante from feoamante.com. How you doing today?
Hey, what's happening, Matt? Hey, everybody. How's it going?
Well, thanks for being here. We really appreciate it. I know you're pretty busy. And so we'll just get right down to it. In case of the zombie outbreak, the undead are coming for you. How would you survive?
I'd run my ass off. No shit. I'd run. I'd go. Move. Are these fast zombies or are they Romero zombies?
Well, I always like to say they're Romero zombies because the other, in my opinion, are infected. They're not slow-moving, they're more New Age zombies. I prefer to go old school where it feels more legit.
Okay, well, in the case of Romero zombies, I wouldn't run. I would just walk with a purpose away.
Speed walking.
Yeah, speed walking, I wouldn't just stroll, But,
Well, you're in Los Angeles. Like, you're in the north part of Los Angeles?
Yep.
And so it's a pretty populated area. I live here too, and I've actually interviewed quite a number of people from the area for the show so far. And a lot of them all say that they would just kind of stay put inside their homes and just kind of like wait it out. Would you do that, or would you try to get out of the city?
Well, sure, I'd wait it out right up until the time when I ran out of food. And, then I'd go try to get some food, load up the car, put in some gas, and get the hell out of Dodge.
Well, where would you go?
Places where the population is far less populated. It's really sparse, as sparse a population as I can find.
Do you have anywhere, because I know that your brother's in San Diego. Would you try to meet up with him, or would you just...
No. That's just going to another populated area with a whole bunch of population in between.
It's like, all right, love you, Kelly, but see ya,
Yeah, I'd give him a call. I'd assume that the towers are still working because there's nobody around to shut them off, and why would they? As long as the cell phone towers are working, I'd say, Kelly, I'll meet you in Arizona at my uncle's house, and we'd go there.
Awesome. So you're... Where about in Arizona is your uncle's house?
He's in the Sierra Vista area.
Oh, okay. So it's pretty secluded, pretty out there.
Really secluded, 75 miles from the nearest highway.
Wow, that's. I don't think you'd have any zombie problems out there.
But if we did, we'd see them coming.
Well, now, would you be able to? Are you like proficient in hunting and fishing and just like living off the land?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, without a question, I'm definitely that. Grew up, we had our own orange trees, we had our own garden, and I learned hunting and fishing both.
That's pretty good. And would you stay there until, like, just society started to collapse, or, when it started to come back around, would you want to reintegrate yourself into society, or would you try to, would you just kind of stay aloof?
Nah, I'd get back to it, once everything started kicking. But first I'd go to, the Home Depot, and I'd grab all of the bug zappers, and then I'd take them apart, and then I'd lay a perimeter around our house. And we just keep the bug zappers going all night long. Every time some zombie stepped on it, they'd just fry.
I've never heard of anyone using a bug zapper before to fry a zombie. It'd be...
Well, yeah. Well, you got to be creative, man.
That's true. Now, would you get more creative than that? Like, I always like to try to get, people to go all out with these things. So, realistic or not. So you hit Home Depot, but that's always a kind of a
whole bunch of stuff.
Would you if you had to encounter other people that were other survivors, would you be more inclined to help them, or would you be, kind of like fend for yourself and just?
Well, if they were cool, of course, yeah, band together, safety in numbers. But among all the good people who are going to survive, some of the assholes are going to survive good too. So you just got to take it as it comes. Somebody trying to be some kind of raider, like out of Dawn of the Dead or something. Yeah, you got to pick which ones are worth surviving and which ones you got to shoot in the head.
Yeah, very true. Because one of the funny things is with the show is not a lot of people ever really take the raider aspect. I think
you saw Dawn of the Dead. Tom Savini and the whole raider gang attacked them all.
Oh yeah. Dawn of the Dead's one of my all-time favorite movies.
Yeah. Well, there you go. Between the raiders and the rednecks in the movie, they're looking like the only ones who are going to save society because they get the family involved, they make a picnic and a barbecue, and they have their kids shoot the zombies. It's all good. The raiders are just trying to tear everything up. So
Would you be prepared enough to hold off the raiders if they came looking for you, or if they stumbled across this cabin?
If we had a zombie apocalypse, the very first thing I'd do is start preparing myself too, sweet. You know, obviously I'm not prepared for a zombie attack right now, but then again, I'm not prepared for a vampire apocalypse or alien invasion. You know.
True. I think most people aren't.
Yeah, but once it started happening, I'd say, okay, here it is. And then I'd get into it. I'd get totally into it.
Do you have any weapons of your own?
Florida, Texas roots.
Oh, a lot of Texas people like to have guns out there. Do you own any guns or?
That would be a mystery that people who want to enter my house uninvited will have to solve for themselves.
So you got to keep some things still a secret, definitely. So, like, you know, because everyone we always talk short term. We always try to think like, you know, a few months, and then I always kind of like to say, for like the last half of the interview is with moving on to like, you know, the society has fallen. Let's say it's like a year later, you're in the woods. Mm-hmm. You know, eventually there's still gonna have to be supplies you have to go out and get, and like if the government has somehow come back around, you know, LA is kind of safe to go back home. You know, would you still try to go for that, or would you like still wait?
Yeah, I'd wait for more infrastructure than just a single city. I wouldn't want to live in a city-state, like just one city ruled by some kind of strongman boss. You know, there's not going to be much freedom in that city. Everybody's going to be pretty crushed. It's going to be real Hugo Chavez, Che Guevara style government.
It could also be kind of similar to Dennis Hopper's character in Land of the Dead.
Well, that wasn't any good either.
Well, I'll give you that one. But you could always just, you know, I mean, if you move back into the city, you know, I mean, you might still get hired on for like zombie extermination control, which might be a pretty stable career after the apocalypse.
Yeah, that was a pretty ridiculous movie. The whole thing didn't make any sense. Land of the Dead, I just said, oh, God, what an awful, awful movie. Just, let me get this right. You know, let me look at this from a street gang perspective. So we have all the guns, we have all the food, we have all of everything, but we're going to give it to you so you can redistribute it among us where we get less of everything. And you, Dennis Hopper, you have nothing except you think we should give all of our stuff to you.
Now, do you think that a lot of societies would form like that? Like you get that kind of feudal society taking place?
No society on Earth has ever been formed like that in all of human history. No society like that has ever been formed or ever existed. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, that's probably why the logic of the film didn't work out.
Yeah, because in every situation, in every feudal society, the person who has the weapons is the person who rules. They are the ones that have, and they definitely don't treat their own people, the people who carry those guns. They treat them the best. They don't treat them the worst. They don't have them live in the slums while they have a bunch of weaklings, surround themselves with a bunch of weaklings who have no weaponry or anything else.
Well, that's true.
You look at any feudal society, and the well-armed people are the ones who are living the best.
And so you definitely would avoid those until a more stable society has come back, and then you'd go.
Well, sure.
That's pretty solid. Actually, we're back down to our last minute of the show, and so I got to ask you the final question I ask everyone: if you were bit, Feo, what would you do?
Yeah. If I was bit by a zombie, and assuming that that means I'm going to turn into a zombie, I will already accept that there's nothing I can do, that there is no cure, that if I'm going to turn into a zombie, I think I'd just go to some mountaintop somewhere, and I'd just wait for it to happen. I'd wait to see how my mind would be affected and everything else. I'm already going to die inside, so I would just put myself like at the edge of a cliff where once I was mindless, once I became a mindless zombie, I would stand right up and probably die or completely become reanimated because I'd fall right off. Only as long as I was alive and thinking would I know how to balance myself. Once I was totally turned, then I wouldn't know, and then I'd fall to my doom, complete doom.
That's I think that's one of the more interesting ways people have described their demise from being a zombie on the show, which is it's fantastic. But that's all the time we have for this week. Feo, thank you very much for being here.
Hey, thank you, Matt.
And for all of you guys who want to read more up on Feo's work, check out feoamante.com. The link will be in the sidebar. And you can always get more Zurvivalist news at facebook.com/kzomradio. youtube.com/kzomradio, and you can also find us on Blip TV, iTunes, and Zune. So for all of us here at the show, we'll see you guys next week on The Zurvivalist. See you later.